Hi, I want to talk about effectively advocating for animals in what you say from a psychological and social work perspective. Now, my wife is a licensed mental health counselor with a background in forensic psychology, and I have a master's in social work, licensed social worker. And my undergrad was in aviation, airport management, and got my pilot's license, private pilot license at the FAA. But my graduate degree is in social work and mental health. So when you deal with people, online especially, since in public people are less brazen, or not even less brazen, but are less likely to even ask questions. I've leafleted hundreds of colleges and gave them out over 500,000 booklets over the years. And very few ask questions, and most people are polite to your face, or don't even ask questions because we look busy or they are shy and such. So online is a different animal. I think promoting in person is more effective. I can give out thousands of booklets at a college in a couple hours, adoptacollege.org, or a few hours. But online is effective, especially factory farm videos. Now, when debating people, though, for animals or any charity, I was in the Peace Corps doing multiple charity work, but any charity, but specifically to animals, you always want to be calm and not judgmental. That will make people very defensive. Now, they already are very defensive out of guilt. Yes, people feel guilty that you are not supporting something, and they are, and they feel confronted on it, even though they seek out the videos and such. And you gotta realize everyone's of different ages. You're dealing with immature children to very stingy adults like our parents. So my first thing is meet people where they are at. Do they think that the animal cruelty is wrong and it's just on, but they think it's okay to eat meat? So start where they are at. Don't attack them personally and don't take it personally, but confront the issue and try to always bring it back to the issue. If they try to do an insult, just bring it back to the issue. Don't take it personal. Like I said, they're defensive out of guilt. It's more about them than you. Um, but refrain from judgment to make them less guilty and defensive, which then puts up a big barricade between you and them. But meet them where they're at. Discuss the cruelty. Discuss how with 8 billion people, it's impossible to treat them well. 8 billion people eating 37 land animals per year, mostly birds, and then lots of fish. It's impossible to treat them well. So they might just think it's, let's talk about humane treatment. So you have to confront that issue. And then that it's completely unnecessary. Dietitians, registered dietitians are all for it. There's vegan bodybuilders, athletes of all sports. Now, they might not know this, so you have to re-educate them. People have been brainwashed with TV commercials, parents growing up and such, and how they were taught. So it does take a little time, and there's a lag. Some people get upset at first at you, lash out, but then they actually change later on. So like I said, you can be confrontational, but with the facts. And you even can say, hey, I liked meat at one time. I was raised on meat, but I gave it up for X, X, and X reason. I gave it up because of the animal cruelty, and this is a solution. Simply leaving animals alone solves so many issues, from our healthcare system, environment, food waste, feeding most of our crops to force bred animals at only 1 pound of meat for 16 pounds of feed, and of course, animal cruelty. Um, and I always like to focus on the animal cruelty because it's like my friend used to say. That'd be like saying, don't tell Jeffrey Dahmer not to eat people. Not, you don't want to say, don't eat people because it's bad for the environment or not healthy. You want to say, don't eat people because it's unethical and unnecessary. Same thing with animal cruelty. Focus on the cruelty, but you can talk about the other issues because they got to know it's healthy and feasible. Everyone wants to be healthy. And that we live longer on average. That's a great fact. Seventh-day Adventists, Buddhists, Rastafarians, because people get caught up in all the details, protein this and that. And I usually throw around, well, there's tons of proteins. Quinoa is a complete protein. Peanut butter, beans, such. People on diets have excuses sometimes. Hey, a high fiber diet is good. If you go to the bathroom, hey, it's good for you. Heart disease, colon cancer, and such. But I do like to focus on the animals. Like I said, humanitarians, vegetarians eat plants. Do humanitarians eat humans? No. So my point is, focus on the victim. Um, don't need to be rude. Treat others as you would want to be treated. If you're confronted about doing something wrong, whether it's sweatshops or doing something, like I said, stay calm. Don't take it personal. Um, ask them if they were born an animal, how would they like it if them or their family was treated this way. Put it in the animal's perspective. And if they use excuses like they're dumb, you can always bring it back to, well, we all suffer the same, even though they are not as intelligent as us, but they are actually pretty smart. Horses, you have talking birds, you have gorillas with 99% DNA as us, pigs that are smarter than your pet dog. So it can relate to them, always relate it. They all have personalities and individual traits, suffer the same, and it's just about leaving them alone. That's all vegan is, not even helping them, just leave them alone. And we underestimate them. We are not as smart as we think. They are smarter than we give them credit for. But like I said, emphasize with them, show some empathy. Say, yes, it is hard at first. It is. Any major change, a new job, anything. Let them know it is hard at first. Why don't you start with harm reduction? That's how people quit addictions, the cigarettes, drugs, alcohol, or meat, cheese and dairy, and eggs. Emphasize with them. Yes, it is hard at first. It's like an addiction, cutting an addiction, and society definitely caters to that addiction. So let them know, cut back gradually, harm reduction theory. Cut out the birds first. Most, as I said, most eat 37 land animals per year. Cut out the birds and the eggs since they're most cruel. You can look up a factory farm video for motivation. Always direct people to factory farm videos like Farm to Fridge of Norms, or the Highline Hatchery video, or battery caged birds. Cage free is not much better. Still debeaking, still overcrowded warehouses, still grinding up the baby males. So yeah, emphasize with them, show some empathy that it is hard at first, but make gradual changes. If you slip up, just get back on. Don't just throw all or nothing. It's never all or nothing. No one's perfect. And meet them where they are at. Talk about their concerns. Ask them what their concern is. Say, what concerns you? Well, we've always been doing it. Well, we've always done a lot of horrible things. Well, our teeth. That doesn't, just because my hand can make a fist doesn't mean I should punch people, like Ionison said. So, and show a little sense of humor at times, if comic relief, put the guards down. But like I said, just be persistent, be reasonable, meet them where they're at, be polite, confront them on the issues when you have to, but don't make it into a pissing match or fight, calling names and such. And in-person activism is always guaranteed to get results. Like I said, I've got thousands of booklets in a couple hours at a big college, a few hours at a big college. So effective. Adoptacollege.org, meetvideo.com by Mercy for Animals, adoptacollege.org by Vegan Outreach. Volunteer or donate. So that's the psychology from a social work perspective and a mental health and psychological perspective. Hope it was helpful. Always remain calm. Try not to judge much. Stick to the facts and reality. Thank you.